Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere. There you are.
Am I? Okay.
Technical difficulty.
Welcome to another episode of the Been There Doing That podcast.
Yep.
Last time
On the Been There Doing That podcast, we were in Oklahoma.
we had wonderful adventures in Oklahoma. We did a fantastic hike. I was extremely tired.
You were a little on the sore side.
I was. Were you a little sore?
No.
Was that Black Mesa?
Black Mesa State Park, National Preserve, whatever it was.
It's the highest point in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact figures.
No, I don't either.
But it was taller than anything else around in Oklahoma.
We hiked with little Oscar. Oscar was carried for most of the trip.
Yep.
Because his little hind legs just couldn't handle it. But he wanted to walk some.
8.4 miles.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So either you or I carried him for most of the way. But he did get some exercise.
That's right.
And he enjoyed it. I think he's being trained that when he sees that little sling that I have to carry him in, he gets excited.
Yeah, he's wanting to go places.
Go. Well, we left Oklahoma, and where did we head?
Well, this time on Been There Doing That show, we headed towards New Mexico.
Yes, so this is
Left the Black Mesa.
Yes.
And we went towards Clayton, New Mexico.
Well, this is what this episode's all about, is our New Mexico episode. Yeah. So we headed to Clayton. And what was in Clayton?
There was a Napa.
Yeah. Last time.
We needed it.
We needed Napa.
I think I briefly talked about, I had a code that was thrown. I want to say it was the P0443-ish code.
If you really want to know, go back to the last episode and you'll find out, because that was fresher in our mind. And then you needed some sort of solenoid.
It was like some sort of evaporative canister emission solenoid pump valve vacuum. I don't know what it was. It sounded good.
And you also were going to get a
crankshaft sensor
just to have on hand, because it's acting up again like we talked about last year. Just kind of hiccuping, or I don't know what you want to call it.
It's a hiccup.
And so Napa
did not have it.
They said
you could get it here on Tuesday. I said, well, today's Friday. Well, it'll be coming from Albuquerque. I said, well, we're headed that way anyway.
So we're going to go.
So forget about it. We'll just go get our own thing.
Yeah. We decided not to do that.
And they closed in like 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah. Then we went to Dollar General and got water and stuff like that. And then we're on our way to find a camp spot.
Yep. Which we drove through. Well, we should have got fuel in Clayton, New Mexico.
But we didn't.
Hey, Gayla, what's the next stop for fuel?
I think it was like
45 miles away.
It was Gladstone.
And
I said, I'm not sure if this is it says on Google Maps that it has gas.
It says it's got
but
gas.
But it's like, Gladstone Mercantile.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know,
It's not
Robert.
like a Phillips Conoco or Signal or a Shell or those other ones.
No, not at all. So we got in there, and there was one pump.
One pump and a 500-gallon barrel.
And that was
sitting on top of the ground
on
instead
top
of
the
buried in there.
And that pump looked probably from the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, it wasn't digital.
No.
It didn't accept credit cards.
And it was like, oh, well, why not? So I stayed in the Jeep with Oscar, and you went in, and what happened?
Said, hey, anybody got $25 worth of fuel out there left in that thing? We certainly do, sir.
Oh, that was nice.
Smells like fried pies in here.
I missed that.
Yeah, it smelled good in there.
Really?
Should have went in.
Oh, darn it.
Cody! Get in here and help this young man. So Cody Price came around, and next thing you know, he was pumping the gas.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, $25 worth. $3.30 a gallon.
Well, and
didn't fill us up either.
No, it didn't, but it got us
a
close.
long ways down the road.
So Was Gladstone in New Mexico or still in Oklahoma?
New Mexico.
We crossed in. And we were headed toward Mills
Canyon.
Mills Canyon. And it was getting dark.
It was. That was on the Kiowa National Grasslands.
And we kept going. We got there. And
then all of a sudden, hey, next 2 miles, no RVs, no trailers, no nothing, tight, twisty curves.
Ooh.
Hey, sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Let's go.
Let's do.
It's almost dark.
It's almost dark. Why not? Why not? And I don't know how long it took us to get down to the canyon.
This is 2 miles.
Well, actually,
Probably
there was
took 30 minutes.
There was a campground up
At the
top,
top.
and there were a couple of trailers, campers.
Because they know better than to go down.
I guess so. And we went down, tried to get some GoPro pictures, but I don't know how well those turned out. We might have to
finagle some stuff.
We have to, because it was pretty cool. But
it was.
It was 2 miles, but
twisty, curvy,
every bit
steep.
of 30 minutes.
Yeah, low range, low gear, and 4-wheel drive.
I had fun. Did you?
Oh yeah.
And once we got there was a loop, and
I think it was 1,000-foot drop.
Was it?
In elevation.
Mm-hmm.
From top to bottom.
Well, we had gotten down there, and it was dusk. We could hardly see. And there was one other camping
camper.
group.
Yeah, groupish.
And we found our spot, and it was fairly close to. There had vaulted toilet down there, so that was not
clean.
bad. And it was clean.
Super clean. No services other than that.
And I enjoyed it. It was no service, no cell, no nothing.
It was peaceful sleep until the neighbors started playing Journey in the middle of the night. I woke up.
It was about, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night.
I was almost asleep.
And all of a sudden, you hear Steve Perry in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what's going on? But they didn't play that for very long.
No, just long enough to wake me up.
And we had to leave the next day, and so we went up.
Back out the 1,000-foot climb.
Did you aired down the tires?
I did.
Did you ever air them back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a picture of it.
Okay.
Because you took the picture.
That's right. Once we got out,
we
got out of there, and then I was kind of meandering around.
Oh, earlier that morning, you were working. I was poking around on the Jeep.
Yeah, that's when
I found the part that
I
was needing.
You found the problem. You
was unplugged.
You decided to open up the hood and just poke around under there. And what did you find?
I found it was unplugged.
What was unplugged?
Whatever vacuum pump
solenoid. Well, there
lies your problem right there. Mm-hmm. It's not plugged in. And I don't ever remember unplugging it. And ain't nobody else been on under the hood but me.
That's true. You know of.
That I know of.
That is true. So you plugged that in.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on our way.
Cleared the codes. Because I kept throwing the code for it.
So far, I mean, we've driven several hundred miles.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to get a part, do we?
No.
We haven't sought out a Napa since...
Well, Clayton, New Mexico.
Exactly. So you're not going to get a crankshaft.
And we're not New Mexico now.
No, not now. But when we were, we're not recording in New Mexico,
nope.
But we had a New Mexico adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun. So we got out of there, and where did we go?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the notes.
Went through Roy. It's one of them rock climbing capital people mecca. Then it rained, then it snowed, then it sleeted, and we made our way to Wagon Mound.
We did.
Stopped, got fuel, talked to Dad for a while.
Yeah, that was quite the thing. We saw all this weather in front of us, and we got rained on, and then it was snow,
sleet. It was 68
and then it was sunny,
out.
And then it was sunny again.
Welcome to New Mexico.
And then from Wagon Mound, I said that we needed to work. I mean, we needed internet.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at the map and all these different opportunities, and we decided on going to Story Lake.
Yep.
That's a state park, isn't it?
Yes.
And the reason why we picked that, it was fairly close to I-25.
Which is near Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Yes. And we decided that because I was like, okay.
They surely have internet there.
They
At
surely
least we
would.
can use our 4G LTE phones.
And have
Hotspot.
good service for the hotspot. And sure enough, when we got there, yes, we had good service.
Mm-hmm.
So we opted to get a
Primitive
camping, which is just basically anything on the lake shore.
Yep. No services as plugging in, no water, no electric.
No actual spot. You just
pick a spot on the side of the fence between here and the lake.
Yeah. And that was
$8, thank you.
$8, and we didn't know if we were going to stay another day, so we just paid for one day. And we got there, and it was windy.
Windy.
I don't like wind.
Windy.
It was windy, but so we tried to cook, and we put the table on, I think, the passenger side, opened the passenger door, and then we had a crate kind of blocking the things in and trying to keep the wind.
It worked.
It did.
Made supper, didn't I?
We did. We had meat and potatoes again.
Which
was delicious.
Hey, I'm a meat and taters kind of guy.
Delicious. And the wind died down once it got dark. But
yeah, and it was a beautiful morning.
It was. I noticed that for a little bit higher, I think it was 10, maybe 15, you could have one with the shelters.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a picnic table, and then there was a big area next to, and I noticed that some people put their ground tents in the shelter itself.
Well, what fun is that?
They got out of the wind. They knew better than us.
Yeah, poor choices make for good stories. That's why we're talking about this.
That is true. So we got up the next morning and just started working, trying to suck down as much internet as possible.
Hey, let's stay here again.
I decided, I just don't want to move. I don't want to pack up. And it was dry.
It was.
And so we just wanted to keep things up. And actually that morning the wind had died down.
Yeah. Well, through the night and our morning, and then it came again in the afternoon.
I think so. You went over and paid another $8 so we didn't have to move or anything like that.
Well, it had showers there. We see it as $8 a day for showers and free camping.
$16 shower.
$16 worth of showers and 2 days of free camping.
There you go.
That's the way I see it.
And that shower there, I mean, it had running water and stuff for those toilets. It wasn't vaulted toilets. They did close at a certain time, like 9 o'clock. And then you had porta potties if you had to do something in the middle of the night. But the showers, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You pushed a button.
Mm-hmm.
And it was timed, and you had to keep pushing the button. You couldn't have any control over the hot or cold.
Yep.
Is that how yours was?
Yeah.
Because that's
how
mine was.
And then I had a little slider up at the top that you can vary the pressure.
Well, I guess I was too short to see that because I didn't see that at all.
Yeah. Eyes up here.
Mine was just on the little button.
Yeah. Well, mine had the button, but it had a little slider on where the water came out.
I didn't notice that at all.
Well, you might have to figure this out the next time you take one.
Maybe, but every shower's different. So
I suppose it could be.
But it was clean
Yes,
facilities, and that was just kind of odd to have the push-button shower. But thank goodness.
Push-button shower.
It was a push-button shower.
It was.
Thank goodness it wasn't like a timed where you had to stick quarters in.
Yeah.
Because years and
Truck
years.
stop.
Yeah, I've not been in a truck stop shower yet.
Oh, you ain't lived yet.
I know. But
$8.
Okay.
That's what they charge is $8. That's what it was a couple days ago.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Well, the showers were good. It was windy at Story Lake, and it was nice temperature and not very many clouds. So I decided, hey, I'm going to get my white pasty thighs some sun. And
what did you do? Put on some shorts.
My legs have not been in shorts for I don't know how long. And so I had shorts on, and thank goodness there wasn't a lot of people at Story Lake to see this reflection of this white.
They may have been wearing sunglasses.
They might have been. And then I had a tank top on, and I got a little pink.
You got a lot pink.
I got a lot pink.
You got a lot pink.
But what is the deal here? I was sitting and working and had some of my body under the awning, and then some. I decided to take off my shoes and let my legs kind of be
out there.
out in front of me in the sun. And yes, they did get a little pink, but
one spot.
Not nearly as one spot on my thigh. That's a triangle. That is like almost purple sunburn. How did that happen? Why? I don't
You
understand.
must have been setting just right.
And it was a triangle shape. It's just weird. But I'm recuperated. At least my body has a little bit of color.
It's not just all white.
It's not all white. It's this. It never turns to a nice tan color. I'm always a shade of pink. White to a shade of pink, but not...
No golden brown.
No golden brown. You tan up, but I don't.
Must be the Cherokee Indian.
Yeah, I'm more Cherokee than you because I'm bona fide.
You're bona fide.
I have papers saying that I'm Cherokee, but I am so pale. But I have Cherokee upbringing, just like you.
Yep.
Oh, well. So we stayed at Story Lake, and then...
We moved on.
We moved on after a full work day, and that was really good. And we stopped by Walmart in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Did not realize it was like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
It was super close to the state park.
We got food.
We
stocked
up on food, and then we went to
Wagon Mound.
Actually, before that, we stopped at Pecos National Historic Park. Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. You might want to check your notes.
I am. I was looking at the notes. Okay, what was Wagon Mound?
Wagon Mound was where we fueled up.
Oh, okay.
After driving through the snow and stuff.
Oh, I thought we already talked about that.
We might have.
You're back a day. We've already been there.
Let's see. We went from...
We left...
Mills Canyon.
Yeah, we left Walmart and went to Pecos.
Well, Mills Canyon was Story...
I'm looking at our...
Then we went Story to...
Pecos.
Are you sure?
And we had a wonderful tour. That was a neat little historical park. Just believe me.
I'll believe you.
Believe me.
I'll believe you.
Oh, now you're looking at your map because you don't believe me.
No, yeah. Now you remind me to look at my map.
So Pecos National Historical Park. It was a neat walking tour. It's about 1.25 miles.
Deal.
And it was with all these old ruins, and that was super neat. I'll have to link to that in the show notes, and we'll have pictures on our website.
Well, you heard it here first.
We
went from Story to some back country roads that you thought we could get through and bypass Santa Fe.
Yeah, but we didn't.
That was fun.
It was.
And then we went to Pecos.
So say it. Who was right? Yes.
Well,
you can do it.
There was some little adventure in between there.
That is true, but we didn't go to Wagon Mound.
You steered me off the beaten path quite a bit.
You liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Tell us about Pecos.
That's a National Historic Park.
We got a stamp on our National Park stamp.
That's correct, on our park passport. And we strolled around the park.
And Oscar enjoyed it. After Pecos,
do
you remember where we went?
Yes. I know this one. It's a trick question.
Yeah.
But I know where we went. Santa Fe National Forest.
Yes. Went to Pecos Dollar General to stock up on water.
Hey, dude, nice Jeep.
Is that what somebody said?
Yeah. What's that antenna for? He's pointing at my coil on the back.
Oh, yes.
I said, ham. What? Ham.
Ham.
What? Ham. Oh, ham. Why didn't you say so?
We stopped there. Then we went to Santa Fe National Forest.
Yes, we did.
And that was wonderful.
You're going to have to repeat it again. There you are.
And that was wonderful.
How wonderful was Santa Fe National Forest?
It
was so wonderful. We stayed there 2 days.
We did.
2 nights, actually.
But we were planning on going to
Bandelier
National
Historical Park.
And there's a campground or whatever, and we started to turn in there. But there's a $25 park entry fee for the national park.
That's a little too steep on my budget.
Well, this trip we decided to go frugal. And we
No,
didn't
we're
want-
not frugal. We're just cheap.
Oh, that's true. We need
Or
a home.
thrifty.
Or thrifty. But we decided to not go because of the $25 park entry plus the camping fees.
Plus, that's what you're looking at, $40 for a night.
Yeah,
Might as
we
well
didn't want to
get
do
a
that.
cheap hotel.
So we set our sights to this Yemez
Yemez. It could
Falls.
be Yemez or Jemez.
It was a campground, and it had falls in the name. I like waterfalls. So we were headed there, and then we found an entrance to...
American Springs.
Okay, I don't remember that.
You didn't pay attention.
I did not.
I know these things. I pick up on what you do not.
I'm glad. And that was the Santa Fe National Forest that we
Yes.
went into, and so we thought,
Hey, there's
look.
dispersed camping here.
So we drove around a little bit, and we found a good spot.
Well, you had a phone call, and Oscar had to stretch his legs, and
Mhm.
I found a camp spot.
That was a great camp spot, and the reason why we stayed there for 2 days,
Great internet.
yes, we were fairly close
4G.
to the...
Los Alamos.
Yeah, we were fairly close to the road. I don't know if that
Yeah.
had anything to do with it, but I didn't hear any traffic because it wasn't a very well-traveled road.
Oh, no, it's twisty curvy.
Yeah. And
Did I mention twisty curvy?
there were a couple of campers, I saw a bicyclist.
Yeah.
And
Don't know where he came from.
I think from one of those vehicles that we passed
Up at the
by.
entrance.
But it was very secluded and very nice. And that morning that we woke up
Yeah.
up to quite the alarm clock.
Oh, coyotes.
It was a close one. One
Very
that
close.
was very, very, very
100
close.
yards or so.
And it was calling to the rest of the pack.
Hey,
which
I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here.
you said it was a female.
Yeah, from the way it yelped.
I guess you know those types of things.
Well, when you have a coyote call,
I guess you do.
you can.
So that was a lovely stay. And I don't remember, we didn't get rained on, did we?
Yes,
Okay,
just a little bit.
just a little bit. Oh, it was going to be calling for rain, but we were lucky that we just
Got
didn't
sprinkles.
get sprinkles. And when we left there, we decided to explore some of the
Forest roads, yeah.
forest roads before we got on the main road. And that was an adventure.
Oh, it was. Went back in there and then, oh, hey, we can't go no more. 3 trees down across.
Yeah.
But we got to see a lot of it.
Yeah, we did.
8,200 feet.
It was beautiful. And I think that, I don't know how long ago, but there must have been a forest fire
Oh, yeah.
there. But it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we stayed there. So everything turned out just fine. And we went down the road and we did pass, what was it, Jimenez?
Yemez.
Yemez.
Yemez. Jemez. I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Silent
either.
J.
I don't know. We're not very good.
Fluent in that silent J.
No, we're not. So we did pass that, but we never went in. And there was a lot of opportunities. I don't remember what road that was. But
4. Highway 4.
And what was our next? Oh,
Shoot, I don't know. It's we're moving right along.
we are. Our last.
We could not get through on that one, so we had to go down even further. Had a detour.
Our eyes were set to
Where was it? Angel Peak?
Angel Peak Recreation Area.
Mhm.
And that was free camping. We read on the internet that there were like 9 camp spots.
Yep.
And it was
First come, first serve.
first come. There's not very many
6
amenities.
miles off a major road.
Just a vaulted toilet, I think, was the only amenity.
2 of them.
And that was outside of Bloomfield, New Mexico.
Yes.
And we had business that we had to do in Bloomfield. I needed to be in a library and use
Internet
up.
call.
Yeah, I had internet call and make sure that I was kind of dressed up.
Yeah.
So it was a video call.
A video call. So, yeah, you had to dress up, at least from the waist up.
And have a good background, look a little professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we picked Angel Pink. But we were delighted that there was internet there.
Yeah. There was 4G LTE Verizon.
We got
2
there.
bars.
We worked there. We got there fairly early in the day, about
1:30.
1:30, and it was so good for once to get there early in the day versus like when
3
we
or 4.
yeah, or that one night in the
After
canyon after dark. And so we set up camp, and we're so glad we did when we did because it kind of did fill up.
Oh, yeah, it did.
It was there were only two spaces.
At 3:30, 4 o'clock, they started rolling in.
Yeah.
They meaning the other campers.
So I had you drive around the whole loop, and we looked at our internet service, and there were 2 spots that had good service. So we picked one of those 2 spots.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Find the good internet and go from there.
And we had
we need to park here.
Right here. So we went into Bloomfield, and instead of, after we were done working at the library, well, actually, I worked at the library.
Yeah.
You did laundry.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. I may have shrunk your clothes.
You put everything in one load.
Yep. Warm water.
You
didn't tell me, so I went with warm instead of hot or cold.
And then you put...
That's a 50-50 chance.
And then you just wanted everything dried fast, so hot.
If you're going to dry in a dryer, put it on hot.
I haven't checked some of those shirts. I don't know if I can wear them or not.
You might want to pull out that teal-colored, been there doing that shirt and check it.
It might be Barbie-sized.
It could be.
Oh, well. I'm proud of you because you
I kind of folded stuff.
You folded them and everything.
Didn't tell you I had help folding them.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Some lady just
I'll pay you $5 fold these.
Oh, well, you did laundry. I finished up at the library.
And they had internet there at the laundry.
Yeah. And I was that was my day of meltdown.
Yeah.
I had stress of work stuff that I thought, oh my gosh, things are not going exactly as quickly as I wanted to. And then talking with a client that kind of stressed me out. And I was just like, oh, I'm having a meltdown.
I'm done.
I want ice cream.
Let's go get ice cream.
So I made you take me to Dairy Queen.
It was good. I could go for some now.
I know, but they don't deliver way out here where we are.
No, but it'd be cool if they did.
I know. Cool. So I had ice cream, had a little bit of a meltdown. Sometimes that happens. I'm not always chipper.
No, you're not always chipper like you seem.
But for the most part, I am. Otherwise, you wouldn't be around me.
That's right. That's correct.
We're all allowed one day or another
I had mine before we left. So.
Yes.
I guess you were due.
I was due for a little bit of a meltdown. And we got back to camp. We decided
go back to the same place.
To go back to the same place.
Looked at the radar. We're going to get wet.
And boy, did we.
Yeah.
Boy, did we.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay.
It's not like we hadn't been wet before.
No. And that was our last night in New Mexico, right? That
is correct.
That's all of our adventures of New Mexico. So that's a great place to just kind of wrap things up. Because
we woke up the next morning and it was raining. Packed up in the rain.
There was a little window. I said, it's not raining, and I have a client call in an hour.
Let's go.
Do we want to just pack up when it's not raining, even though everything is wet? And we're like, yes. And so by the time we packed up, it was
raining again. 5
or 10 minutes before my client called, and we started driving down the road. And
it rained.
And it was raining, and that was a long...
I said, hey, let's go here.
Washboardy road.
6 miles. Hey, let's go here. There's no rain.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we'll pick up the next time.
That's where we'll pick up the next time. So be sure to tune in next week to the Been There Doing That podcast.
That's correct.
Because this is our overland adventure out west.
Yes.
It's a month long, but these podcasts are going to last a lot longer than the month long.
That's correct. So pay attention. There will be a quiz.
There will be. So where can they find us?
BeenThereDoingThat.com.
And you know what's interesting on that? I don't know if we've ever mentioned it. For all these podcasts that we do, sometimes all these things that we see is quite visual, right?
Always.
Always.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing video or pictures.
Exactly. So in the show notes, you'll see on BeenThereDoingThat.com.
Instagram feed.
You'll see an Instagram feed, but on the podcast tab, you'll see show notes, and you'll see a few pictures from that correspond with the particular episode. So if you're listening to this from iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play, you might want to go over to Been There Doing That and see the pictures. Or you can do what a lot of people do and just follow Robert on Been There Doing That on Instagram.
That's where all the cool kids are hanging out.
And if you want to see videos, get to YouTube and subscribe to Been There Doing That.
That's where the other cool kids are.
Yeah. So all the visuals to this podcast, they're out there. And it's all named the same thing, so you should be able to find it. Right? Right?
That is correct.
All right. So until next time.
What's the name of this podcast?
Been There Doing That.